Davidson who's in. And the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Still in there hustling is Taylor Parsons for the Lady Longhorns.
Chris, you talked about the averages. How are we doing so far overall with the game pretty much in hand?
Well, right now we're up to 23 rebounds, Joe. 21 for Johnson County. It's still really close.
As we've got
another steal.
They've actually got two more steals than we do now. They're up to 14. We've got 12.
Give that last steal to Taylor Cox and the bucket. Taylor Cox on the steal and the bucket with less than a minute now. Scores 60-39. Lady Devils. Another steal. Here comes Cox again. And there's going to be a foul called at about the three-point line. Kind of a smart foul on Mullins. Maybe a frustration foul as well, as that's twice that ball has been stolen.
Now, in terms of the overall game, you were talking about that Johnson County came in averaging right around 40. Is that correct?
48.6 points per game, so 49 points, let's call it.
So we've held them underneath that, and of course we're not hitting our average as well.
Well, we still got 45 seconds to score 8 points.
Not a lot of 4-point shots, but we'll see.
Add another point for Johnson County as Taylor Cox makes the first free throw. The lefty eyes and misses the second. Rebounded, though, by Johnson County, and the ball almost set up on the cylinder. That's Klein with the rebound. Missed the first shot as the ball almost stopped on the cylinder. And she got her own rebound, went back up, and she's going to be fouled this time by the Lady Devils. She's going to be at the line for two. Kind of a flat shot right there. Not kind of, it was. It hit the back of the iron. This one much better as Hazley, H-A-Z-L-E-E, Hazley Klein makes the free throw. Almost a steal out front and it will be a steal. 3-on-0 fast break and basket by Johnson County's Sadie Stout. Nobody back for the Blue Devils on that steal. Pass underneath is going to be a good pass, and there's going to be a foul. Great pass underneath to Summer Smith, and all Johnson County could do was foul her.
Summer's averaging 2 points a game. She can hit her average if she makes the two.
And she's halfway to her average, Joe. With 15 seconds to go. Summer eyes. And she is, again, Summer has her average for the season. Summer Smith makes both free throws. 12 seconds to go. Be the last possession. 62-43. Johnson County gets the ball inside. Almost stolen. A little 10-footer. Yes. Basket. Taylor Cox. And that's going to be the end of the ball game as Taylor Cox makes tonight's last basket. But just a little too much Lady Blue Devils, as it was a close to the first quarter, and Gate City pulls away in the last three to a 62-45 win. We'll be back with the post-game show on a winning Lady Blue Devil night. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
For exceptional Mexican food and the perfect place to stop in before heading out to watch another Gate City victory, La Carreta Express in Weber City offers a tremendous menu of authentic Mexican cuisine at a great price. La Carreta proudly supports Blue Devil Sports, and they're open 7 days a week, even until 10 p.m. every night except Sunday. So dine in with them today or give them a call at 276-386-7000 for call-in orders. Again, that's 276-386-7000. And they're located next to Weber City Drug on U.S. Highway 23 in Weber City.
This is head coach Kelly Housewright of your Gate City Lady Blue Devils, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Proudly representing Southwest Virginia in the House of Delegates for the last 24 years, Terry Kilgore continues to strive and work hard for others, just like our Gate City Blue Devils proudly represents our school, our town, and community. Delegate Kilgore, a proud Gate City alumni himself, wants to thank the residents of the 1st District for their trust and support over the years as he's continued to voice our needs and concerns in Richmond to make our region a tremendous place to live and work. And on behalf of Delegate Kilgore and his family and staff, they say, Go Big Blue!
With over 100 offices throughout Virginia, you can count on your local Virginia Farm Bureau insurance agents to be there when you need them most. Whether you find yourself in a fender bender, insuring your first home, or with a new addition to the family, our agents are ready to help you through every stage of life. Connect with your local agents, Whitney McConnell, Richard Helms, and David Weddick here in Scott County at 386-7411 or online at vafb.com. Coverage provided by Virginia Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company and their affiliates. And we're back here on the Premier Pharmacy post-game show from a victorious Gate City Middle School Gymnasium. 62-45 was the final as Gate City moves unofficially to 4-0 in the season, 3-0 actually in the regular season. Of course, they have swept the portion of their schedule, early part of their schedule with the TSSAA teams. Of course, we will be playing another time with Tennessee High and Sullivan East coming up in January. But before we start anything, and you'll see more about this on our Facebook page a little bit later tonight, probably early in the morning though, congratulations to our academic team, which competed tonight, which is kind of rough on them because Tuesday nights are usually basketball, but those are also academic meet nights. But they took care of Lehigh and Wise Central tonight. Congratulations to Matt Gobble. He reached 1,000 career VHSL points. The team is the Mountain 7 regular season runner-up and the number 1 seed for the Mountain 7 tournament in January and the Region D tournament that's coming up in February. So congratulations to them as they move forward into the as we conclude the regular season for the academic team. So let's talk a little bit about the points. And again, a 62-45 win. We talked about several keys before the game. We did want to be able to jump on them early. We didn't actually do that, though, Chris. We were tied up late in the first quarter. We did take a 16-13 advantage, but we did start to stretch it a little bit in the second quarter, which was uncharacteristic for both teams.
This team keeps finding a way to win. If you look at the rebounds and the steals, there's no way we should be winning by the margins we're winning by. Mm-hmm. That's just a credit to the shooting performance of our girls, I think. They're not missing like the other teams. By the time it was all said and done, Gate City had 20. I had them with 26 rebounds, but I had Johnson County with 23.
Yeah.
We had 12 steals, and Johnson County came in with 11. But yet, we're winning by almost 20 points.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll take that, certainly.
Sure.
Our girls are hitting the three-pointers. They're getting the inside shots when we need them. And honestly, Longhorns tripped themselves up a few times, literally and figuratively, with a few double dribble calls here and there. But we're shooting really solid right now.
We mentioned it in the pregame as well. A young Johnson County team, they kind of acted like it, and at spells today. Because again, when they got close, they had their chances, but all of a sudden, they were 0 for, I think, 7 or 8 in a row with a couple of turnovers as well. And then, of course, that allowed Gate City to move ahead. So, and then, of course, in the second half, when they started to chip away, they also started to come up either with turnovers and started, try to shoot three-pointers, try to get back in on one shot. You just can't do that. But, of course, that's a characteristic of a young team. We talk about the scoring for Gate City. Thompson, again, led all scorers. She kept right with her average. She averaged 21 coming in. She got 21 tonight. Of course, Kate Pendleton stepped up. We talked about another thing as well. We needed a third scorer. We needed somebody else to take the pressure if a Fullen or Housewright, or if a Thompson didn't step up. And, of course, tonight, Fullen had 8 points, and she also had 8 rebounds, but Pendleton added 12 big points. She had 3 rebounds, 2 steals, I think 4 assists in the game. So she was a sort of a catalyst to help us out with the offensive inefficiencies, if you will.
Well, Fulton didn't have her best game, and that's saying a lot to say that coming in with 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 8 points is having an off night.
And of course, as she mentioned in the interview we had with her a couple days ago, she didn't start. She didn't play a lot at Dobbins Bennett. Of course, they are pretty much stacked at the post position. She was just getting limited time. This is her first full-on starting. I mean, she's out there pretty much the whole game. So
right, that's kind of what I was getting at. I didn't mean that to come across critical of her at all. That's saying a lot when you have an off game and you almost have double-digit points.
When you talk about
so she still had a pretty decent game overall.
And you talk about a young Riley Housewright. We mentioned that when the first broadcast. She's going to have some games that she's going to be unstoppable. She's also going to have some games that she struggles. Again, freshmen usually do that, and again, that's just getting into the flow of the game, getting some experience. Of course, tonight she ended up with 5 points and looks like 3 rebounds. So, of course, not bad. But again, as we get into this conference, and I know I keep talking about it, the Wise Centrals, the Ridgeviews, the Unions, they have some dominating post players that we're going to see here in the next few weeks, and we've got to be ready and be able to step up and match that, as well as with our outside scoring with a Thompson and a Pendleton.
I'm really excited about that Wise Central game. I think that our girls have a chance to really turn some heads in the conference, particularly with the way we're shooting right now. Having said that, though, I think they do need to step up their defensive efforts. These rebounding margins have been way too close for my comfort, despite the fact that we're shooting the lights out.
And I don't know if it's simply that they're just getting better position on us, or if we're just not recognizing, because, of course, I've coached basketball and talked to several people who have coached. It's a different thing when the ball comes off of the rim, you've got to get position. And again, we were kind of young inside, learning how to do that, learning how to read how the ball's coming off, getting those key positions. I don't know if it's going to be.
The other thing to think about too, though, is it's hard to maybe put a total 100% effort out when you do have a 20-point lead.
Exactly. So
I
all righty.
will scoot over.
Well, we have got the Terry Kilgore Player of the Game. She's here with us tonight. Senior. She does a little bit of everything. She's number 14 on the program, number 1 in your hearts. She is Kate Pendleton, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 assists. Miss Pendleton, appreciate you taking a little bit of time with us.
No problem.
All right, so talk a little bit about the game itself. What was your initial thoughts going into it, and, of course, your initial thoughts coming out?
Well, going into it, I knew that we had to play our best. We know they're a good team. I just knew that I needed to contribute at my part. The past couple games, I've not been hitting too many shots, so I knew I needed to find ways to score other ways. But especially defensively, that helped us out. That was the game maker of the game. That us having intensity right there, that was what got us right there.
Well, I have a question for you, Kate. I just want to know, were you listening to us down while you were sitting on the bench? Because we said before the game, somebody needed to step up and become a high scorer for the team, and you start coming out and do that. Then during the timeout, I commented that you came out of the locker room in the second half and were really playing well, but you only had 1 foul, so I said you could step up the aggressiveness. And literally, you went out and got a
You bumped
foul.
her. Yeah.
So the only thing I can figure out is somebody's down there with the internet listening to what we're having to say.
I must
But we
have
do
some pretty good
appreciate
hearing.
you following through with our game plan.
So the coaching supplement will be split up here. We appreciate that. So, of course, coming out of the ball game now, okay, you've sort of made the, as we call it, the Tennessee swing. You're all 3-0 against the TWSAA. That's a lot of mouthful to say. But now you're getting ready for a Lehigh, Wise Central. What are your initial thoughts as you're moving into district play now?
I know our conference is one of the toughest conferences in Virginia, and I know that we play these games just to prepare ourselves for this type of environment, and I think that we have exposed ourselves to enough good competition, and it's really put a test on us, and I think it'll help us in the long run for our conference.
So, of course, after you all win the state title in March, you've got some things. You got some business to take care of as well. You're going to continue your education where? And tell us a little bit about that.
I'm going to go to Milligan College and be continuing my softball career.
So what does it mean? Again, and I made mention of this during part of the broadcast. You've been here through sort of the ups and the downs of the last 4 years. Talk about this year's team versus teams you've had here previously. How is it different? And